This week on What the Heck, we check in with Tyler, talk guilty pleasures, and kick off 2021 with a round of Florida Man. Crack a cold one, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Good evening, and welcome to episode 9 of season 2 of What the Heck. I'm Colin Frederick with Jake Reese and Tyler Heck. Gentlemen, what's shaking?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Whoop whoop.
2 days of work down, 3 to go. I don't know. My math's off.
Aren't you a math teacher?
Maybe. I don't remember. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Dang it.
Set
My
them up
New Year's
again.
resolution already.
Inside of
Already
30
gone.
seconds. Not bad.
Oh,
It is. It's a new year. And it's one of those things where I like to say that, well, it can't be any worse, but then, like, you just don't tempt
no.
the universe.
Not right now.
No, not at this point.
There's too much going on.
Big show tonight. And I'm reminded of it because we're bringing back Florida Man, which I have a few comments on. But first,
Awesome.
in my doing research, I saw that a Florida Man has contracted the UK, like, variant
Oh, yeah, I
strain.
did see that.
It's in like
So-
4 states now.
Yeah, so now we're dead.
The
No,
killer
It
hornets
sounds
are
like it's
coming
just
back.
easier to catch. It doesn't sound like it's any.
South Africa has another strain that they're not sure if it'll work with the vaccines.
Well.
Just read that today.
Good thing I've never been to Africa.
South Africa.
God bless
That's
the
still in
rains
Africa.
down in Africa.
Yep.
Yep. Toto told me.
Maybe they'll wash the vaccines away. I mean, the
No.
virus away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have that.
Better. Don't watch the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we've talked about this in the last year, but I'm getting a little tired of this whole deal.
Yes. We may have mentioned that, and I think all of us may have been in agreement,
Tired
which
of it.
hasn't happened very often on this show.
Mhm.
I pride myself on not agreeing with you. But
We agree on that.
that's the
Book
one
it.
thing.
I think that's the second time you've agreed with me.
Yeah,
We need to keep a log in here, I think.
we should. That would actually be good for posterity's sake.
Yeah.
What else?
I mentioned this earlier, but I'm just going on record as saying I had fantasy football hangover this week. I know there's a lot of good games, and there was this one in particularly not so good game, but
Every game I watched was pretty good.
to me, I just didn't have the
That's
same fever for the football when I know I didn't have to check my team and see who was winning and where I was getting screwed.
I think I only didn't have the fever because it was kind of turd fest week because only half the teams actually care what's going on and whatever.
Yeah.
The other
Like
half
now I'm
aren't,
back
and then
in.
there's one team that
If you're the
tanks.
Philly
Yes,
and you
yeah.
just put in a crappy player,
How was
just,
that? I'm surprised the coach didn't get murdered by his own team.
they're investigating
I don't
him
know,
now
there's-
because all these players are saying that they didn't know anything about it and they didn't agree with it. So they're
What are they
NFL
investigating
is-
it against, though? Like, is that a rule in the NFL that you can't tank?
I don't know. I don't know
Isn't
the rule
that-
book.
Isn't that like a quarterback going out and throwing an interception on purpose? Isn't that very similar to just taking out for no
That'd be like
Isn't
if
that
they
the same
called
thing?
you up and said, "Colin, can you play quarterback this week?" How are you qualified to be an NFL quarterback?
Well, because let me just show you a picture. If you go back on my Facebook,
Sharon Hawks, 8th grade year.
yeah, oh yeah,
I know. I was Facebook stalking. It's amazing.
you'll see first of all some really nice form on the run to about to make a throw to.
Except you were a foot taller than everybody then. Now you're going to be a foot
No,
shorter than everybody
I
in
wasn't.
the NFL.
Marshall Stranger was as tall as me, but also his wrists were the smallest wrists I've ever seen on a person in that photo. So anyway, the long story short is I'm qualified.
Okay. But I would have to agree. Somewhere, somehow, by not playing your healthy starters, that's got to be tanking.
Well, I agree that it's tanking.
There's got to be a rule against not playing healthy starters.
Why? There's not in any of the other leagues.
The NBA, they
The
find a
NBA
team for sitting their starters. The
Yeah.
San Antonio gets fined once or twice a year for doing that for no reason. If they're not injured, they expect them to play.
Yeah, but it's a pretty wimpy thing because people for sure are like,
Right.
oh no, we're bad.
I
And it
agree.
definitely happens in baseball.
Oh, for sure.
But also, to all the Giants fans that are upset about it, maybe your team should just be better.
Yeah.
Win
Don't win
8
six
games.
games.
Yeah, I
Win
agree with
8
that.
And it
games
doesn't
and
come
you're in the
down
playoffs.
to that. It doesn't
Right.
have to come down to it.
Yeah, none of you should have made the playoffs.
But here's my other thing on why. Do you think Doug Peterson likes the Redskins better than the Giants?
I don't
think he
no, I don't think
cares?
he
No, I
gives a
think
So
shit.
why would
I
he?
think he
I
did
think
it
he was-
people are
strictly more
saying
to help him in the
for the
future.
draft.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Because now they're picking 6th as
Instead
opposed to
I think it was
10th,
9th or 10th.
11th.
Yeah,
or
9th or
whatever.
10th. Yeah.
But also, are those 3 spots going to really help your your
can't-
team was pretty bad.
Pretty bad, but if they're taking a quarterback,
But why would they take a quarterback? They have a
just
quarterback
took a
that
quarterback.
they're paying millions of dollars that they won't be able to unload. They have a backup quarterback who
it's not as
I
good
think
as
is-
who they could draft in the first round.
But they
in the
took
top
pretty.
5.
They took him pretty highly.
What, second round?
It's
But
pretty.
you also got Sudfeld. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's lit.
Just kidding. I can't even keep a straight face. I mean, it just seems. If that was your plan, why 3 weeks ago put Hurts in at all?
right.
Just put Sudfeld in.
Why not just put Sudfeld
and
in
lose
and
those
let him
games.
lose out, and maybe you
And-
pick 4th instead of 6th.
Right.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it because the Cowboys should be picking 3rd and now are picking 10th
Classic.
because they decided that a stupid, meaningless little baby winning streak was cool.
It doesn't matter. They're going to sign Dak. The line's going to get healthy, and they're going to be back to great next year.
Truly,
by
the
great-
offense should be unbelievable.
I would think so if they get the line healthy and Dak back healthy. Their defense
True
is
story.
Horrible.
yeah.
They got better though. They had like 11 turnovers in the whole first part of the season, and then the last 3 or 4 games they had 11 or 12 turnovers.
So maybe they're growing.
Well, they're terrible, and the D coordinator's for sure going to get fired. But they got better, I guess. Jalen Smith, bad. Bad.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He looks like he's making plays all the time with all the action.
With
he
all the
does
swiping
after
he
the
does.
game. Or after each play,
He
he's up
does.
jumping around, even though he's on the other side of the field.
Yeah, he like bowed up on an offensive lineman for no reason and almost got his ass kicked. Then he did it again and immediately got called for pass interference on the play to which he was referencing. He did his signature swipe when the Giants got a first down. He's a moron. And somebody asked him about it. They're like, Jalen, how do you feel about being with the team next year? And he said, hey, just watch the tape. And they were like, yeah, so
Yeah, so where are you playing next year? That's all right. That's about as good as that reporter saying, did you see that? The female reporter thought she was on mute and told Trevor Lawrence needed to shave his mustache.
Oh, I did.
well,
I heard
he
about
should
it.
shave his mustache.
He should, but I
Definitely
listened to the video and his face was just like, oh, wait, what? Are you talking to me? What? He
He's-
handled it very well, but yes, that mustache has to go.
He's an ugly human.
I like his hair.
What? No.
I'm kidding. It don't.
Bad hair.
It's long, greasy
Kind of big nose.
girl hair. But for the number 1 pick in the draft, he's gonna make the Jaguars happy.
What do you mean? Justin
And they're
Fields?
still going to be bad.
They still, I don't know. He could be if he comes in and plays solid. They got Robinson is a decent running back.
I was waiting for more.
I was hoping someone would help me out here. They have
Oh,
any
I-
wide receivers?
They got decent. They got.
That's what I thought.
I could only think of Robinson.
I wanted to say someone, but I don't know if they're actually there anymore. That's the thing.
yeah,
Oh.
I'm not
So
sure.
the Jaguars suck.
They got Jalen. Oh, no.
Nope.
AJ. Oh.
Oh, no.
wait. Calais Can. Oh.
No, mm-mm.
They do have
Oh,
Miles
and
Jack.
Oh.
Miles Jack's pretty good.
Miles Jack is pretty good.
But he can't play.
Actually, they have
6
a
positions.
decent. They have a pretty decent defense.
The Cowboys picked Jalen
Even-
Smith and his broken leg over Miles Jack.
Well,
Pretty good.
Miles Jack kind of fell to them for a while, didn't he?
Well, yeah, no, he got drafted like 2 picks after the Cowboys picked Idiot.
Right.
Because he has a degenerative knee thing
been there.
out of UCLA. Same, man.
Is that why you guys didn't get drafted highly?
Yeah.
No, mine was an elbow problem because wrestling's the worst sport in the world.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mine's a knee problem because of wrestling, but not because it's the worst sport in the world.
Sure. Uh-huh. Hey, it's a new year, and I still have a personal vendetta against the sport.
I thought you were going to drop that in
Nope.
the new year.
That was not one of my resolutions.
Oh, wait, that was my resolution that you would drop that.
Convince Colin to stop talking about his elbow. Wow. Pretty hot kickoff.
Did we see who won the Heisman tonight?
Yes, saw that.
I didn't. Who?
The wide receiver from Alabama.
I kind of figured that. He was like the super odds on to win it.
I think
First one
because
since 1991.
all three quarterbacks kind of fizzled out at the end of the
Yeah.
year. I was all about Florida, Kyle
Trask.
Trask winning it, and then
And
he
he sucked up the
had
last
two
couple.
terrible games. And, Justin Fields.
Well, and if it would have been done like maybe 2 weeks ago, Mac Jones might have had a better shot. But Smith just went crazy against Notre Dame. Like there was no stopping that guy. Like he that kind of sealed the deal, I think, for a lot of people.
I would agree. He's pretty good. Pretty decent,
all right.
you might say.
Yeah,
he
How
might
old
be
is he?
playing on Sundays.
junior, I believe. But I think he's going.
He declared
Yeah.
before the season started.
Did he?
Or he came out and said he probably will.
He's one that
I don't know why he wouldn't
I
at
think
this point.
NFL guys, and I'm not an NFL guy, so I really don't know. But he just seems a little undersized.
Yeah.
Like he looks a little skinny. Like I think they're gonna want to put 25 pounds on him and say, bulk up and be ready to take some hits. But I don't know. I'm not a wide receiver coach.
Yep.
Or an NFL scout, or a high school coach, or much of anything with football. So
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't even think necessarily that he'll be the first receiver taken, though. I think Jamar Chase goes.
Yeah. There's this is another, I think, good receiver class. Nothing will beat last year
no,
with how that group
What the heck?
turned out.
CD's so great.
But
I'm
this
a
year-
big-time CD Lamb fan.
and Justin Jefferson,
He's
that
fine.
whole class.
Yeah,
Ruggs, who
Judy?
runs like a 3.940.
he does, and put on an
Yes.
Old Spice robe on draft night.
Yep.
and Jerry Judy
Cool
is
Jerry
pretty
Jeudy.
solid, even though he's got nobody to throw him the ball.
Not yet. They will.
What do you mean, Drew Lock's the future?
He keeps saying he is. I think he's the only one that believes that.
He's bad. All right, enough talk about
Yep.
bad people.
We do have a sponsor.
Oh,
However,
we do.
Oh, that's what you're.
Tell me about it.
I don't. Maybe the heck should talk about
What
it.
the heck?
We do have a sponsor. We got
What?
some
Tell me more.
mild Rick's snack sticks.
Mild Rick is always coming in clutch
He-
to support the show.
I told you these are like my favorite snack sticks, but they were gifted to us by the one and only Mr. DeHeck.
I would like to thank you for having a son with a funny last name,
And
so that we can have a show.
I would like to
But-
thank you for the meat sticks.
Probably more so that, actually.
The meat sticks first and the sun second.
The podcast, we could have come up with a funny name.
Right.
Yeah, wouldn't have been as easy. We'd had
No,
to,
it would've been
put our heads
a little bit
together a
more
little bit
difficult.
more.
Do you remember that? I can't wait for our 1-year anniversary episode when we can reminisce on the time that I said, guys, I have an idea for a podcast. We're going to call it What the Heck, and every episode we'll start by asking Tyler, what the heck?
When you first pitched that, I was like,
I remember
Whatever.
you bringing it up when we were
Whatever.
at football once, and it started off kind of like as a joke, and then I think you just really ran with it, and I was like, well, okay, I guess.
Guys,
Sounds
I
fun.
bought a podcast setup on the
Like,
on the
oh,
internet.
what? Really? Okay.
well, I guess I'll give it a try.
Why don't we
What
just,
we're,
why don't we just start with our
close to that
phones?
1 year.
Oh, we're getting there.
It
March,
doesn't
I think.
seem like we've been doing this that long.
Hey.
Yet here we are.
Time flies when you're doing cool shit.
Yep.
I gotta say. Oh, that's my problem. I thought I was just having a finest chocolate chip cookie.
It's the butter pecan.
Bourbon pecan.
Oh yeah, bourbon pecan. But it's the finest bourbon pecan chocolate chip cookie.
that might be true, but in terms of cookies, it's kind of weird for me. We still have a couple of these finest cookies left. We're trying to get them out of my house so that I
Well,
don't have to look at them.
I just had the finest snickerdoodle cookie, and it was the finest snickerdoodle cookie I've ever had.
the sugar cookie last week was dynamite.
That one was good. This one, what did I have? The finest Belgian white chocolate spice cookie. Good.
Spice
It was
Girls,
pretty good.
pretty good or the finest?
I mean, it was not the sugar cookie from last week, but
Not that.
out of the
Yeah.
3 that I've had, I'd put it at definitely in the top 3.
Good
like,
to know.
Much like the bourbon thing, it may be the finest of this variety of cookie.
I've never had any other kind of Belgian white chocolate spice cookie, so I don't really know how to compare
I couldn't
it yet.
even point to Belgium
So-
on a map.
It's the finest one then.
Yeah, I mean, it's number 1 in terms of Belgian white chocolate spice cookies.
Makes sense.
No
I
arguments.
dig it. We got one here that we're kind of scared of, though. Maybe we'll have like a drawing for our fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the finest cranberry apricot oat cookie.
The apricot is what gets me. I don't mind the cranberry.
Maybe it's delicious.
I
Maybe
don't like
that's going to be the
cranberries.
best cookie in the whole
It might
box, and we're scared of it. Don't be scared. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Go get it.
I don't even know where the hell we are. Tyler, what the heck?
So we have finally, it seems, hit winter.
The first segment of the show.
Well, that too. But it feels like we finally come into winter, even though it's been, I don't know if I've seen the sky in a couple weeks because it's been so foggy out.
Fact.
It feels like, have you ever seen the movie The Mist?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It
Yeah.
feels like we're living in that without the big monsters.
Is that the one with Liam Neeson?
No.
No, that's The Gray.
Yeah. This is like a mist just overcomes this town and there's just monsters, oversized bats, giant insects that just kill
I
you
think
if you
that
go
sounds
outside.
pretty nice.
But that's not what I want to talk about. What
Tell
I
me
want
what
to
you
talk
want to
about
talk
is
about then.
snow removal.
Oh, lit.
And the reason
Hate
I
it.
bring it up is we all have our own, like I live in an apartment complex. I don't have to do anything. It's awesome. You're a new homeowner. Right now, you're stuck shoveling.
Big ups.
And then Jake has the snowblower, but he's got to do 2 driveways and sidewalks. The reason I bring it up is since the first part of the big storm that came in, the plow company came and did our parking lot and then has not been back. And it is just like there's sheets of ice and snow, and it snowed a little bit last night, so now there's new stuff on top of it. And when they first came, they didn't do a very good job. Like, I have the sidewalk that leads up to my house. They left like 3 feet of snow between that and the parking lot, even though there's no, like, the sidewalk and the parking lot just are connected. So there's this just big jumble of snow there. And so part of me is like mad that I don't do it myself because I would do a much better job. But also, I
Get a
don't
shovel.
care
Get
that
working
much.
on
That's
it.
the other thing. Is like I have shovels in the garage, and I clear off like by my garage door because I don't want to track a bunch of snow in driving in and out of the garage with the car.
And you
But
don't
I
want
don't care
want your
enough.
garage door to freeze down. You
Right,
always got to
that's the other
shovel away
thing.
from that sucker.
And
Yeah.
it's weird where if I get like it's angled where snow will always get under it, so my garage door never shuts completely, and then my garage gets freezing cold because all this extra air is getting through. But I also don't care enough outside of that part to go out and clean anything because it's part of my rental contract that I don't have to do it. So why should I be the one going out doing it, right?
That's true.
So I really just wanted to hear your stories to make me feel better that I just don't have to do this because it sounds, at least for one of you, like it was a very difficult snow removal process.
It wasn't great. I can speak to that. I got up real early because I thought I had to go do my brother's driveway. So the dog started barking at like 3 or 3:30.
Is that a common occurrence?
Not at all.
Okay.
However, we always leave that blind kind of cracked there because he likes to look outside. He's a dog. And there was a car stuck, a little Chevy Cruze, directly in front of my house, like going out of town, headed south. And so it was stuck in the road. Then there was like an old beater pickup truck with a plow on it, attempting to pull that car. I don't know where, really, because the whole road was that way. And then a cop came and had his lights on and was parked behind him because there's a lot of traffic, at 3:30. So all of this commotion was going on outside, which then caused him to start barking. So then I was up and I, whatever, let him outside. Probably smacked him in the head for barking.
Shut up, Uke.
And then I, laid back down, played a couple rounds of Chris, which nobody still has challenged us at that.
I'm very disappointed. Not that I don't like playing you guys.
I'm
like to
playing
play
with the
someone else.
Superior Reese, so apparently
Oh, nobody's challenged me.
he
I would
has
hate-
expanded his
I would hate
Chris
to beat him
playing
again
network.
at something.
Yeah, true. Gets exhausting.
Maybe that's it. He's intimidated. He's
Probably.
afraid to challenge you
I
guys.
wouldn't blame him. So I laid back down, was playing Chris, and then I was like, I just could not go back to sleep. I was like, a lot of snow out there. Got to be up early. So at about 4:30-ish, I went outside and just got to it. And the neighbors had like pre-shoveled the night before a little bit, so they at least, had a couple inches less, but I had the full dong 9 inches or whatever we got, 8 inches. Um, and then of course they bury the shit out of the end of your driveway,
Yes, they do.
which then like kind of freezes down. So that was fun. I went and bought not at 4:30. Previously, in preparation for the winter, I had bought a big, probably, I don't know, I think it's like 30-inch, just like steel snow pusher shovel, which is great, and it works great for scraping and pushing, but it's freaking super heavy, so you don't want to do a lot of scooping with it. So I used that on like the main driveway, and then I got my little plastic shovel and got to scooping on the end of the driveway forever. And then I finished with the sidewalk just in time for Quack to come outside with his snowblower.
He actually watched you the whole time.
He did.
He probably did.
He was up in his living room having coffee, watching you shovel.
He said, I talked to him like the other day because I was out shoveling again, just cleaning things up, and he ran it down the sidewalk towards my house. And he's like, I was going to help you, but you were already almost done, and he looked real sweaty and kind of pissed. And I was like, welcome to my life.
He didn't want to get caught in the crosshairs.
That's right. So that was my experience, and it was not that much fun. You guys told me that my sidewalk was slippery tonight, which kind of bothered me because I've been super anal about it and have had like the clearest sidewalk and driveway on the whole block. Because like the other day when it was like doing that weird sleet thing, I shoveled 3 times that day. I would like shovel, throw some salt down. Shovel, throw some more salt down. And then so my driveway was just great all day. Now apparently my friggin' sidewalk's slippery.
Yeah.
Part of that's kind of a problem because my gutters are all effed up and there's downspout that just like onto the sidewalk.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
what
it
it looked
doesn't
like.
It's dumb.
It was perfectly clear. There was no snow or anything,
I
but
don't
you
know
could
who-
tell there was some leaky water that just froze. And
I don't know who did this.
Slicked it
Who
up.
built this house?
Let's kill him.
I honestly don't mind snow removal. Obviously, a snowblower makes a big difference. If I only had to do one driveway, it would be so much more enjoyable because my father-in-law lives 3 houses down from me. So it's kind of pointless to push the snowblower out in the street and push it all the way down there or to let it, pull itself. So I'm the guy that like sets it on the sidewalk and snowblows the sidewalk for 3 houses to get to his. But then by the time I do his, and when we got that snow, there was so much of it, it was so thick, I ran out of gas halfway through his. So then I got to walk back home and get the gas can and go back down and fill it up. And
Oh, literally ran out of gas. Not like you got tired and had to
nope,
sit down.
literally the snowblower ran out of gas. I did not. So I don't know. It's kind of like as you get older, toys get different, right? We all still have our toys no matter what age we are. But like that snowblower is kind of like a toy. Like I get out there and like I said, if I didn't have to do 2 driveways and all the sidewalks and everything, but I still like, oh, look at that neighbor's got a bunch at the end of their driveway. I'll go give him a hand with it because I got a snowblower and it's kind of fun. Like my mailbox is the most cleared off of anybody on the street because I take the snowblower and go back and forth in front of the mailbox and the curb. And
Oh, I just do that with a shovel and it sucks.
I'm telling you, get on the marketplace and find yourself a snowblower
I've been
and
looking.
save your back.
Well, I actually haven't been looking. My dad's been sending me snowblowers like every other day because I've talked about it. I'm like, man, I should really buy a snowblower. My brother offered me one that apparently doesn't work. He's like, you can have this one. Doesn't run real well. I'm like, boy, sounds great. Thank you so much for your help. Now I just have something more to swear at.
But you got a snowblower then.
But I got a snowblower. I need to.
You do. It's well worth the investment.
I told Katie, like, after I got in that morning and I was real sweaty and my back hurt, I was like, we're using stimulus money to buy a snowblower. I was like, I don't care about anything else. That's how I'm going to stimulate myself.
Yeah, that I would agree. That's a good purchase. You're stimulating the economy, therefore saving the United States of America.
It's the least I can do, really.
I think it's your civic duty.
Yep. So perhaps a snowblower in my future. However, I have to say, I think that you almost need like a combo platter because a snowblower,
I do both.
it doesn't, you get no scraping action.
Nope.
So it would move off all the top stuff, but then I still like to have a nice clear driveway, so I would
But-
still have to scrape it with my
But
shovel.
typically, I will say on the average snowfall, like last week when we got not the rain stuff, but the first snowfall, I did mine and it was pretty darn down to the concrete. Like I didn't have to scrape much but the edges.
Well, that's good.
Now it depends on how much you drive on it. Like if it's snowing and you drive on the while it's snowing, your snowblower's not going to get that. But like that snow came and like we were already home and in for the night, so nobody had driven on it. So the snowblower just went out there and right down to the concrete. It was perfect. Sidewalks perfect. But I do shovel like the edge of the driveway. I shovel out in front of the garage so I can get the door open and don't make a mess in front of there. We have a little walkway in the front porch, and I kind of shovel that area. Although I don't shovel it, Carter shovels it, so at least I get him out there and doing something. But
I think that would be a good way for Carter and I to become friends.
you want me to send him
shovel
over next
together?
time it snows?
Not together, no. I'd just like him to
Oh,
shovel
just
my
have him
driveway.
shovel.
Oh, he'd be your shovel buddy.
I'd probably pay him.
Done. I'll tell him. He's motivated by money at this
Whoa,
age.
whoa! Hold your horses here. I'll come shovel for money.
I think he would pay you. Have to pay you more than what he would pay a 12-year-old.
Nope, you can pay me the exact amount you'd pay Carter.
He was gonna pay him $7.
I was going to pay him in lemonade.
Can mine be adult lemonade?
For sure.
All right. I'll be here for the next snowfall.
It's a deal.
The best part about that snowfall, though, however, didn't need to use though and however. Sorry, everyone. Got a little carried away. Let's
You're
just,
just so
shut the
excited.
show down, please.
All right, we're done. This is our last
How
episode.
embarrassing of me to even go out in public like this.
We'll edit it out.
We bought a new car. Like as it we were in the office as it started snowing, and so we got to drive it home. And like the roads were already kind of shitty at that point. It was 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. So much better. Katie's car. I didn't like riding in when it was like a clear sunny day, but the thing was horrible in the snow. So we got a little upgrade and went to the all-wheel drive.
So much better.
So much better.
She'll never go back.
No, no chance. My life was changed. And now I can not drive my truck everywhere, which I love driving my truck, but also
Hate driving a truck.
pretty expensive.
Yes. Yes, agreed.
So that'll be a cool thing. So that was really the better part about my snowfall. Except then I just got paranoid that I was going to like hit it with a shovel or something dumb.
Gotta be careful.
I was- All right. I would like to talk about guilty pleasures. And I thought of this tonight as Katie and I were sitting watching episode 2 of season 6 of Grey's Anatomy.
That's your guilty pleasure.
We've been crushing. It's one of them. I gotta say. That was one of those shows that my mom always watched, so like I would occasionally catch an episode if that's just like what happened to be on the TV on Thursday nights or whatever growing up. But we started from the beginning, and pretty good. I've kind of been a little bit disappointed in myself and the amount of stuff that I remember. Like, why do I remember this from 10 years ago? This happened in 2009.
Yeah.
Why do I know these details? But that, I would say that's one for me. Do you have anything that, like, you feel like, oh, maybe that's kind of childish or kind of girly? You know? And I know that I'm not really supposed to say that things are girly, but
Yeah, that's not very PC.
I don't give a
in
shit.
2021.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
go?
No, go ahead.
I would also like. I've never watched all of Grey's Anatomy because there's just so much.
You should do it.
But I've-
There's
I've
16
probably gotten
seasons on
through-
Netflix.
I need to look back because I watched it for a while. Like right at the beginning of quarantine, I was like, "Well, if there's any time that I'm gonna get through everything, here it is." So I think I got into like season 8 or 9,
Oh my god.
and then I just stopped. Like I started to watch like other stuff to break it up, and then I just never got back into it. And it's like I got pretty into it. It's a really good show. So I'd say that is probably one of mine. I also I love the nostalgia of going back and watching like shows that I watched as a kid. So like I'll randomly pull up like Pokemon episodes that I watched as a kid, or like the Power Rangers.
I found that I like the idea of doing that.
Yeah,
And then I put it on and I'm like, all right, this is kind of
I'll watch a couple. I really same thing. Beginning of quarantine when I wasn't watching Grey's and I needed something like a little bit lighter, I'd put on the Power Rangers, and mostly I kept watching it because it was like, wow, if this was on like exactly how it is now, no one would watch it. But
That's true.
As someone who watched it as a child, like I just couldn't not watch it because it was my childhood. So TV wise, I think those are like, I don't know if you'd count those as guilty pleasures,
I think so.
but
I think Kim and I have a couple. We just got done watching Scrubs, and that's on Hulu, I believe. So we went back and watched the whole thing, like from the very beginning. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched it, but it's hilarious, and I love it. In fact, I'd go back and start all over again tomorrow and watch it all over again. Like it's that good. Last Man Standing, we actually pulled that up on Hulu and started watching
that
that
feels like
from
the
day
opposite
one.
of a guilty pleasure. That's like, hey everyone, I'm a man. I watch this.
No, but going back and rewatching it and watching it and watching it, and so also I think of a guilty pleasure like maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, but I think of it like when it's on, like if I'm flipping channels and there's that Last Man Standing or Chicago PD, I'm stopping and watching. Like I'll stop everything I'm doing and be like, well,
First of all, that Frank guy's a huge P. Second of all,
Frank guy.
yeah, Frank Hoyt.
It's Sergeant Hank Voight.
Close.
Thank you very much, and he's a badass.
brothers.
Nate Hoyt.
Cousin.
Yeah.
It's our
Yeah.
nephew.
Big calves.
Anyway, I will stop whatever I'm doing and just be like, all right, it's on. I better watch it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about stuff that like you're not going to
You're
tell
keeping a
people that
secret.
you watch,
Except for right now.
except for right now when we're telling everyone.
The whole world knows then.
Like if you like secretly were into Desperate Housewives, I might be like, but then whatever, Scandal. I don't know if that's. I don't know why I feel these shows are girly. It feels like they're not really that girly.
Because it's mostly
About
women
women.
or about women. Something
That could
like
be.
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, Gilmore Girls would be one. I've
How
never seen
about-
that.
But it is like it's something that I want to watch, but it's one of those like
Have you ever seen
I
Parenthood?
feel like you can't. I
No,
haven't,
I've
but I
heard of
heard
it.
it's good.
We just started that, and I'm not so sure about it yet. We've only watched 3 episodes, but it seems to me like it favors more. Kim gets more excited to watch it than I do, so I think that would be that might be one of them. Just starting off with the guilty pleasure.
I would also consider Nashville in that same category. I've also never seen that.
I've watched like one episode.
Mhm.
Only because when we were down in Nashville
Connie
and we
Britton.
toured the Opry, they talked about the show, part of it being filmed there, and like gave us all the backstory.
About
So then we
Connie
felt
Britton.
we had to watch it, and it didn't live up to my expectations personally. So
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like other shows.
what about like Glee?
what about like High School Musical?
Oh,
Come on, I was gonna bring that up when we got to movies isn't on the list, but
it's not.
I was gonna bring that up.
I meant to put it
well,
on
that's
there.
other. I'm assuming it was gonna be one of the things we talked
That like
about.
should have been second.
But that
Yeah,
is for
movies.
sure on my list.
Same, big time. Katie gets so mad. I have all like the soundtrack on my phone.
What about
Do you want me to sing
speaking
it
of
for you now?
soundtracks? What about The Greatest Showman? Would you consider that a little bit of a?
Yes.
Because not too many people. I mean, when they think of, no, I can't think of his name.
Hugh.
They think of him
Wolverine.
as Wolverine, right? He's a badass, killing people. He just doesn't give a shit. But then you get into that, and it's a little bit different, and he's a singer, and it's totally different than Wolverine. And I kind of laughed. Kim watched it with Carter the first time, and he loved it, and she loved it, and I was kind of chuckled, whatever. And then I watched it with her, and I thought, oh my god, this is
Oh, yeah.
really good. But
the
I
first time
can't tell
I
everybody.
was not interested.
And
I was
then-
like, "You're gonna make me watch a freaking musical about
She
a
made me
circus?
download
No,
the
thanks."
soundtrack, and it is awesome. Like, there's a lot of great songs.
Yeah. I actually listened to the soundtrack before I watched the movie
It's a good soundtrack.
because everyone was like, "Oh, the music is so good." I'm like, "Well, okay, if I like the music, then I'm gonna like the movie." And I listened to it once through, and I was like, "All right, I'm in." And I sat down and I watched it. I think I watched it 2.5 times, and the third time I started at like midnight and couldn't finish
Can't
it.
do that.
It was just on TV right before Christmas, and I had to watch the rest
Oh,
of
it's
it.
good. I also like the reimagined soundtrack to that movie. Have you heard
I've
it?
heard a couple of the songs off that.
Oh, it's good. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, like Zach Brown Band sings "From Now On,"
Really?
Yeah, it's a
and
couple.
Nice.
Panic at the
I was just
Disco sings "The Greatest Show." That's actually so
I
does
think that's my
Pentatonics.
favorite
They
one.
both do.
The Panic at the Disco one's kind of like a
That one's good.
heavy, like
Yeah.
I'd play that like if I'm working out, like that's something I'd put on and I'd get pumped up.
Yeah.
I'd probably listen to the regular Hugh Jackman version too and be okay, but
I
Yeah.
get real into that song when I'm either drunk or alone in my truck.
Two great
hopefully
times.
never both at the same time.
Eh, what am I gonna do? You know. Yeah, that's definitely one.
Okay, good.
For some reason,
I got
I
something that qualifies.
For some reason, I consider musicals like I just like automatically. I'm like, oh no. Maybe it's just because I have in my head that I have to be a macho man. I don't have time for.
Macho,
I'm a
macho
huge
I
musical
don't have time
guy.
for culture. I
love
love
musicals.
Jersey Boys.
Yeah, just watched that for the first time the other night.
Oh, heavens
Very
to
good.
Betsy.
I've actually only been listening to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons the last couple days now.
Love those guys. So
So
great.
good.
I have the soundtrack to like the Broadway musical on my phone.
Wicked. Have you seen Wicked?
I haven't.
I've not.
Oh, well worth the show, let me tell you.
See, that's another one where I think that I never just got past the fact that I thought it was girly.
But
Yeah.
Kib and I went down to Chicago and spent a weekend down there. This was a number of years ago. And we went and saw that, and it was really great.
Seems
Like-
like marriage makes you do a lot of things, like watch questionable TV shows and musicals.
That's where you
However-
get all your guilty pleasures from.
Yeah. However, I wouldn't choose those on my own if I was a single guy just like living the dream.
That's why I've never been there.
But I'm a married guy living the dream, and she's like, "Oh, let's try this," and then I go, "Shh, don't tell anybody. I really like that."
What about like reality television? You into that?
Oh, you mean like what we watched last week?
Yeah.
I was gonna say no until you just said it. Like,
That's why you
Whoops.
brought it up. And I'm holding us all to it because we sat in this very house
For hours.
for a question. Like we watched it and then came and recorded the podcast last
Then
week, and then
watched
went
more
back
of
and
it.
watched more.
And then Tyler had to take Jake home and then came
And
back
then I
and
came
watched
back to
more.
finish the episode.
and
For- okay,
then I
so-
watched it some more last night.
We started by watching the
Wow.
Badger game, the bowl game, and
Yeah, the
then
Mayo
I think
Bowl.
as a joke, Colin just put on my 600-pound life,
Yeah, 100%.
and none of us
Because we were like, well, what should we watch? And then I just threw that on.
so it was on, and we didn't stop it. So we watched probably 3 or 4 episodes of that, and then an episode of 1,000-Pound Sisters, and
the season finale from
the season
last year,
finale of last year. Yeah.
which led me to watch the season premiere last night with my wife. Because I made her, when you dropped me off last week, I was like, "Hey, baby, you gotta check this out." She's like, "Oh my god!" And then it was like a train wreck. Neither one of us could change the channel.
Yep.
And then flipping channels last night, I'm like, "Oh, 1,000-Pound Sisters on." She's, "Oh, we gotta stop it. We gotta watch that." So
So
yeah,
yes, that is for sure. We can't get around it. It happened.
We were sitting there watching TLC, and it was like only commercials about period panties. And I was like, oh, this tells me we should not be
I was
watching
gonna say
this
at one
channel.
point we all said, "Why are we doing this?" And then the show would come back on, and we just couldn't stop.
Then it didn't matter what the commercials were
Yeah,
about.
and we didn't care.
other than that, I don't get into a lot of reality TV. I'm not into like American Idol or Bachelor or Bachelorette
I
or
used
any
to
of
like
that
American
stuff.
Idol.
I liked American Idol like
Originally, yeah. Randy
Through,
and
like-
Simon
yeah.
and
with like Carrie Underwood,
Yep.
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson.
I also in college got into The Voice when that first came out. That was really good. That I liked
Never got
better.
into any of it.
But I haven't watched.
What about The
in a
Masked
while.
Singer, The
I
Masked
hate that
Dancer?
I
shit.
haven't.
Those are dumb.
Or what was the other one where Simon, when he left American or
Oh,
The Voice,
X Factor?
X Factor.
That was at least about talent. The Masked
America's
Singer's
Got
Really?
Talent. Britain's
Talent.
Got Talent.
Some of those people had no talent. They were freak shows, not a talent.
Oh, come on. Some people on American Idol couldn't sing William Hung,
Yeah,
but
those are good too.
That's true.
they became sensations anyway.
I suppose 15 minutes of fame at some point.
Those for me, one thing that I will occasionally, I won't ever put it on myself, but if I'm somewhere and it happens to be on the TV, I have a hard time like not watching and yelling at the TV. Would be The Bachelor, Bachelorette.
I was gonna ask.
Situation.
I've never watched. I don't think
I've
I've watched
never
a single
watched
episode.
One episode either.
I understand the premise, and I've seen many shows that make fun of it. Like
It's-
Family
Didn't they for a
Guy.
while come out with Average Joe? Wasn't there a show called Average Joe
Thought
where
so.
it's like guys like us, we were The Bachelor and got
Yeah,
to go
I
up
think
there.
Is that a
think that-
dating show? I thought the only Average Joe's one I know was Pros versus Joe's when it was like.
I think it was
sports
along
ball.
with that.
Oh, no
Because it was
shit.
on. Was that on Spike?
No, that was on regular TV.
Pros versus
Pros
Joe's?
versus
Yeah.
Joe's?
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought those were all very similar.
But that's
thought
the
I
only
remember
Bachelor
that.
I'd watch. Is if they brought an average looking like all the. I'm not gonna be.
Oh, it's totally unrealistic.
Yeah, they're all like chiseled, like sculpted human beings with like great jobs and great looks. Like,
Yeah.
that's not the average
I'm an
Joe.
11 and a lawyer. What?
Yeah, and I'm 6'2" and I'm 185 pounds with 2.8% body fat. Oh, great. What about the guy who's 5'7" and goes about 220 and not 5% body fat?
And I walk into this room with everyone that didn't win Miss Universe last year. What? It's outrageous.
I was like runner up for prom queen in high school. Great. Like that would be an average
No, I want
whatever
someone who
Joe
didn't even
opposite
run.
of Joe is.
Wasn't even
Right.
nominated.
Yeah. I was on
I
the
was
chess
in
team.
art club.
Yeah.
That'd
See,
be cool.
I'd watch that show
watch that
more
shit.
than
I would too,
Bachelor.
because it'd be more realistic. I
The
think.
Bachelor has just gotten so outrageous.
Yeah.
It was always kind of outrageous, and now it's the most
And it
outrageous.
just keeps going.
Like the bits on the first night when they like get out of the limo and they're like wearing crazy costumes and doing obnoxious shit and saying really vulgar things now.
See, I don't even know what any of that means because I've never watched it.
Oh, it's a bad deal.
I'm kind of glad. I did think of a show because I just happened to. That's why I was right at time when I got here because I had to watch the end of a movie that probably is a guilty pleasure. It's a series of movies. I don't know if any of you are Pitch Perfect fans,
Oh,
but
Yes.
I'm not, but that definitely counts.
Pitch
I am.
Perfect 3 was on, and it was like coming down to the fight scene on the yacht at the end. So I was like, Kim's like, don't you have to go? I'm like, yeah, as soon as this is over. So yeah, that's, all three of those are very,
That 100% counts. I've only ever I've only ever seen the first one.
you should see 2 and 3. They're pretty funny.
I like 2 more than 3.
I feel like that tends
3
to
was
happen.
Yeah, 3 they kind of stretched it a little bit. They could have just quit with 2, but they had to break the band up.
If you want, I think I have the first 2 on Blu-ray.
I
so.
think it's probably okay if I don't watch
Katie
them.
Katie probably is a fan.
Yeah.
You can
I'm
watch
sure
them
she
together.
is.
We watched 8 hours of 600-pound life. We can watch 2 Pitch Perfect movies.
Oh, that tastes like shit.
Yeah, call her out on it. Don't leave this garbage here ever again.
So there's a girl, and she's in the fantasy football league, and she lost to me, but she supports me, and she is a person.
Not from Wisconsin.
Really? We're still going here?
Hey,
I looked
I'm
at the
just
wrong team when I was talking about Tyler's team.
this
It's an honest
this
mistake.
person is my biggest fan. I just don't know who the hell they are.
Oh, look at the time. I think we got to be wrapping this show up.
No,
Anyway, Renee brought these gross things to my house one time, and they're disgusting.
It looks delicious.
Oh, hey, wait.
Is that a goat or
Which
a
one do
pony?
you have?
He's got peach tea.
Peach.
Oh, there's a lemon one. I wonder if that one's better.
The peach. Hang on. Stay tuned.
Wait, you have a peach? I have a sweet. What?
You just
There's just a bunch
sweet
of
tea.
different ones.
They're all different teas.
I guess I should have looked.
I guess it's not horrible, but it would not be probably a thing
It's
that I
too.
would
It
pick out.
gets. You get halfway through and you're like, all right, now I just gotta
Power
power through.
Crook and Marker. Organic super grain alcohol. What the hell's super grain?
Makes me feel healthy. Not really.
I don't know. It's got 0 sugar and infinite flavor.
Well, that seems worth it.
There is a flavor. I just don't know how good the flavor is. All right, sorry. I interrupted someone saying something, but it was distracting.
We were trying to get you to watch Pitch Perfect.
No, it won't do it.
Well, it'll happen.
Yep.
Come on.
Only like 600 pounders.
There's close to one in Pitch Perfect.
And don't let that
Fat
fool
Amy.
You. Don't let it fool you that
As
you know,
opposed to the other Amy.
Yeah, but I don't want you to
Hashtag Team Amy.
I don't want you to think that my 600-pound life is about a bunch of like 565ers.
No.
No. Wasn't the one chick
The one we watched was
960 or
920?
920? 974.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And that was new. Like, the end of
Yeah.
that episode was, like, she couldn't even
Yeah,
finish it
because
of
of COVID.
Yep.
Not that, I mean, we're almost at a year, but still.
Wow. So that's stuff we
I hope our
watch
hecklers don't
sometimes.
think less of us
They're
after
like,
this conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to hang out
No,
with those
they're
guys.
they're
don't
all
wanna-
going to be like, oh, I watched that too.
Yeah.
Or they're going to go
Or-
flip TLC on tonight and see what reruns
You
are
got
on.
to check it out.
Honestly, yeah.
I didn't think we would make it through the first episode, and then there we were, like, oh, hey, guys, we have to go record. And then we were done and said, let's just go back and watch more.
Oh, it's so good. They all went to that same asshole doctor.
Yeah,
He's just like a grumpy old European man.
Yep. You couldn't understand half the words.
He was
said.
so mean to everyone.
I like the doctor and the 1,000-pound sisters better.
Yeah, he was
Seems
much
like a cool
nicer.
dude.
And the one sister cared, and the other one just didn't.
Still stayed that way.
Nice. I gotta go watch that. All right, we should wrap this up because I gotta go watch that show.
Pitch Perfect.
But before we wrap it up and go watch TLC, it's time for the return to Florida Man. I should point out, well, Clint and Luke pointed out. Shout out to Clint and his brother Luke also.
Nice. Thanks, Clint and Luke.
Glad to have you guys, both. He said, when are you guys going to do the those brackets?
The ultimate Florida man.
The ultimate Florida Man and then the bracket.
The ultimate creepy Craigslist.
We got a lot of shit.
Yeah.
that we've just been stockpiling.
Well,
Really?
we had the holidays come through. We had, New Year's, Christmas.
At some point, we're going to have to go through and listen to the episodes and
We really
find
got
out
to put something together.
what, pull those winning stories out.
It's hard when you can just keep finding new ones.
It is hard. It makes it difficult to go spend hours and hours going
I would have
back through.
thought that someone was setting the winners aside and organizing things so that we
Yeah, you'd
knew who the
think.
winners were.
Okay, how much work are you guys doing for this show? Pete's sake.
I go home and watch my 600 pound.
I watched 1,000-pound sisters last night just
Exactly.
for this.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Oh, great.
Gosh.
Here's the pop-ups.
Technical difficulties.
you can't be on
Set
that
up-
site.
That site's...
Whoa, what?
Wow.
Florida man calls 911 to report himself drunk driving. What's wrong with his face?
He's not
Acne?
just drunk driving. He's got other stuff in his
It's an
system.
undated photo.
Oh. From 2018.
Oh, yeah, here was my theme. I picked New Year's Eve and New Year's Day stories tonight when I was
Nice.
looking through here.
Nice.
An unusual call on New Year's Eve of 2018
From a man.
from a
said
man
he
who
wanted to
wanted to report
report
himself.
Nice.
They said they kept him talking while he directed officers to where he was. I'm too drunk. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know. I'm driving around trying to get pulled over, actually. I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. Look, I'm parked in the middle of the road. I like this guy's style.
Hey, at least he's honest.
He is honest, and he has cigarette burns all over his face.
It's just acne, guys.
No, I think he does crystal meth.
I was going to say, that's. Yeah.
I feel like that's what happens to your skin.
Seems like a nice guy.
Florida
Just-
man arrested for fighting a gas pump.
Hope he won.
Even inanimate objects have rights. I don't understand why you would get arrested for this.
Punched and
Unless he
kicked
broke
a
it.
gas pump.
That could be vandalism.
Yeah.
Hunter Blake. He was pissed because he had a fight with his girlfriend and was arrested on disorderly conduct. No word on who won the fight. This is on a real ABC.
And this was this year.
This year,
Like, this
January
was days ago.
1st.
Yeah, that just
Oh no,
happened.
last year, 2020.
Oh, yeah. So it was a year ago.
That's awesome.
I
He
wonder
looks
if
like such a nice guy.
He does, old Hunter.
He looks like oh. Do you remember Ben Travis Brown, Ben's buddy? Doesn't he
Yes.
kind of look like him?
He does a little. I think they might have similar hobbies. Florida man accused of poisoning girlfriend's cat with amphetamines. Honestly, look,
It's a cat. Why is he in trouble?
I'm not into animal cruelty. That said, I'm also not into cats.
I would agree with both of those statements.
Arrested on suspicion of poisoning his live-in girlfriend's cat after a night of binge drinking. He's 45. Misdemeanor domestic battery. I don't know if that has anything to do with
And
the
a
kitty.
felony animal cruelty.
Well, you'll get that. Jesse's girlfriend checked his phone after a long day of drinking and after the family cat Oliver began exhibiting odd behavior. She discovered text messages to a friend in which he said he was going to poison the cat. She also found a search on how to kill a cat with amphetamines. That feels oddly specific.
Wow.
Hey, I got this pile of...
Why is that particular part of the sentence linked? Is it going to show you how to do
if
it?
you ever want to find a search on how to kill amphetamines.
Cat recovers... Oh, wait.
Oh, the cat didn't die? Thank goodness.
There you go. Now we
Okay,
can
so
feel
it
good
just
about
took
this.
it to the.
It's
okay.
another story that the man or the cat lived. Good for her. I mean him, Oliver. He was walking in circles. According to witnesses, how many people were there?
She called her friends
called
over to
them,
be
yeah.
like, hey guys, look at my cat.
Come look at Ollie. Ollie the cat. And it obviously caused this cat a considerable amount of pain and suffering. I am a product of pain and suffering.
I wonder if she filed a lawsuit against him. for
The
pain and
animal
suffering.
cruelty felony charge carries the possibility of 5 years in prison.
This is a
What?
very serious charge. This is something we won't tolerate. All right, meth cat. Florida man crashes into bar to steal Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
Whoa.
He looks like he's crashing in the bar for other reasons.
Gavin Lee. It didn't matter that Re-Rack Sports Bar was closed when Gavin Lee arrived Friday morning. This was December 31st of 2019. He wanted a Dr. Pepper and wasn't going to be denied, so he rammed his F-250 into the front window and climbed inside.
See?
Wow, look at that guy's
I
face.
told you Fords are good for something.
Fords suck. He dug into a cooler and satisfied his craving for Dr. Pepper. They should use this shit in an ad. And he happened to have a handgun in his pocket. And
No.
So,
He didn't immediately
Armed
flee. Instead, he
burglary.
reportedly sat at a table and finished his soda.
oh, that's good, dude.
How is he? Okay, so it says he's facing an armed burglary charge, but if there was closed and no one was there,
It's still a
Because he
burglarizing with
broke
a
in
gun.
because he had a gun.
Doesn't have to be anybody there. You're still burglarizing the place.
Poor guy. He was just thirsty.
Yeah.
I friggin' love Dr. Pepper, so I
Yeah.
get it.
and all 23 flavors.
Yeah, all of them. Especially
I'd ram my truck into a place
You
for
wanted to
that.
see? Was it Dr. Sweet?
Dr. It's a sweet pie.
That's just Prince miniature.
Miniature. Wow. Honestly, like, I get it. Dr. Pepper's good, but they should consider telling people about that because that's a good story. Florida man bites canine, fights off taser, fist fights officer on New Year's Eve.
Badass. Is it Chuck Norris?
He fought off 2 tasers.
Whoa!
Wait, whoa. He is naked?
It says meth-fueled, mud-covered,
Naked Florida man.
shakes off 2 tasers.
Bites canine and fist fights the officer, then spits on another.
I dig that. He looks like a guy that would do that.
He's gonna do okay for himself in prison.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, people probably aren't going to mess with the meth fueled.
What are you in for? Avoiding a couple tasers, biting a canine, fist fighting an officer while I was naked, covered in mud.
Hey, isn't that how you're supposed to like teach kids not to bite you as you bite them back? Take that, dog.
Yes.
No, by the way, I never bit my kids once.
Have heard that. Have you heard that being a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know if anyone that's actually done, but like I feel like that's the thing.
Maybe.
I'll
I'll have to try it.
I don't
Come
think
on,
I ever
people.
Next time a kid bites me, I'm gonna bite him back. See what happens.
go into school tomorrow and ask your principal
Yeah, I'll see.
and see if that's a
Hey.
acceptable measure.
If a kid bites me and I bite them back, who's in the wrong?
Am I just teaching them
I'm
that
teaching them a
it's
lesson.
painful
Teaching them
and
a
it's not
lesson.
okay to bite?
Do you like how that felt? No, neither did I.
It's time to stop bullying.
That guy's awesome.
Florida man arrested after viral video shows him attacking McDonald's employee on New Year's Eve.
Not cool.
Oh, here. Well, you could probably just watch it quick. Oh, it's loading. We don't have time for ads.
3, 2, 1.
Wait.
Skip that.
Oh. All right, so he
Whoa.
grabs a female employee.
Oh, she
and
fights
then
back
sh-
to
wow,
him.
wow,
All right,
wow.
she's a UFC fighter.
She
Oh
is
my-
But
giving
he
him the
just
business.
will not let go.
He's holding on, but I don't know why. She's beating the hell out of him.
He hasn't even thrown a punch.
I think he's about to not get.
He just got his clock cleaned. Just wanted his phone.
Wow, this is actually a pretty long video.
Wow. All right. In St. Petersburg, he was 40, arguing with an employee because, she didn't give him a straw. So he grabbed her by the shirt and jerked her forward. And then she started throwing haymakers.
Yes,
at
she
him.
did.
She crushed
She
him.
won that for sure. Look at that over the top, right into his ear
Unanimous.
hole.
It's a unanimous decision. The McDonald's employee wins.
Those were real punches.
Demanding she be fired.
Demanding she be fired as a manager finished preparing the customer's order. They were like, "Hang on, sir, I'll be right with you with your Big Mac. I want her ass fired right now. You're fixing to go to jail."
Oh, hold
I
on.
like how Southern people are always fixing to do stuff.
There's more to this though. Then it says he's being escorted out. He kicks another employee in the stomach. Then, shortly thereafter, there was a report of an unarmed robbery at a Shell station, and they recognized it was the same guy.
Oh, Dan Taylor. If she would have just given him a friggin' straw, this wouldn't have done
Yeah,
a
he would have
thing.
been on his way. He probably had to rob the Shell station because he didn't have any
Still
straws.
didn't have a straw.
Pete's sake. He found somebody with one of those collapsible metal straws in their
Yep.
purse. Florida man decapitates mother on New Year's Eve. This one's a
Wow,
little dark.
did he
but I like
bite her
this
head
photo.
off? Look at his.
He did not. What I learned is he used an axe.
That is
Oh.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson in an alternate universe.
Look at his face. Look at his teeth.
He's got
That's
no
like-
lips.
He's so happy.
Christian Gomez.
He's schizophrenia, and he confessed to planning the murder for 2 days. Mr. Gomez had been upset with his mother for asking him to move some boxes, and because he was jealous of the attention she paid to his brother.
Wow.
Honestly, do not ever even consider asking me to move a box.
I'm going to have to think twice when I go home and ask the kids to put their laundry away.
Yeah, I don't think so. Or at least hide the axes. Florida men, plural, arrested for allegedly stealing $500,000 of tequila on New Year's Eve.
What?
Yeah, that's a haul.
That seems like a lot. This is sweet. They found these people. Taking cases of Patron tequila from a stolen semi-trailer after a driver found it was missing from following a stop for dinner. They had already transferred 20 cases of tequila to a box truck registered to them. So they stole a semi and then just started filling up a box truck. That's sweet. And there's a lot of tequila.
That
in
is
it.
a ton of tequila, man.
There were approximately 966 cases of the tequila with a retail value of $507,105.
Holy cow.
That's sweet, and I'm especially a fan of it because it reminds me of Smokey and the Bandito. El Smokey and El Bandito.
Wow. Those are how many do we pick? Those are some good ones.
I don't know, 2. I'm picking El Smokey and El Bandito.
I'm picking the drunk driver who called the police on himself because he was really drunk.
And a Dr. Pepper guy.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper guy.
I'm also going Dr. Pepper, but I'm picking the McDonald's UFC fighter.
So we've got a three-way tie.
Yep.
Now what do we do with ourselves?
We either have
Well,
four.
we each picked two. That's what it was, right?
I don't know.
We picked the same one. That's the
Sure.
top winner.
Oh, yeah.
All of them make it. You better bookmark these or save them or
No,
something.
I'll find them again someday. Or just not. One of the two.
Yeah.
I dig
The
it.
problem is if you ever go back to search, you're gonna get like 5 of the same story from different places. We won't remember which one's which.
Yeah, that's true.
Except
Guys, don't even worry. It's going to be fine.
I'm not worried. I have faith in you.
So we've got Smokey and the Bandit. The
Bendito.
Bandito. McDonald's girl throwing some friggin'
Haymakers.
wicked
no,
hooks.
she was not. She was not the villain in that story.
Florida McDonald's girl throws wicked hooks. And what was the other one? Dr. Pepper guy.
Dr. Pepper guy.
That was our
we all
ultimate
loved him.
winner.
And then the guy that
And the
And
drunk
guy-
driver.
The drunk
Turned
driver called
himself
police comes up. I'm parked in the middle of the road.
in. By the time he made that call, though, or said that, you could hear sirens in the phone.
He still was helping them make
Yeah,
sure they knew it was
just
him.
making sure.
What a considerate guy.
It's a little Tommy Boy-esque. Remember that movie where the cop pulls him over? He's like,
Will Tesh did
"Biz."
the same thing.
Oh, it wasn't Tommy Boy. It was the other one where he pulls him over and he's like, do you have any idea how fast you were going? Oh, 60, 65, 7 miles an hour. And usually when I pull people over, they pull over to the side of the road. And he's like up on the median, right in the middle of the road.
What is that?
That's the one where his
It's not Tommy Boy.
No.
Black Sheep,
Black Sheep, yeah.
his
I've
brother's
never seen
running
that.
for office, governor.
Pretty good.
Well, he got some nitrous oxide. He stole a car and it had nitrous oxide in the trunk, and it like broke loose, and the fumes got in, and he got all high on it. So he was going 7 miles an hour on the freeway.
That's pretty good. I'm going to go watch Black Sheep and not feel guilty about it.
And Pitch Perfect
Not that.
and TLC.
That.
For sure.
Definitely that one. Folks, if you have things that you feel guilty about, you don't have to feel ashamed with us. We're here to support you. You can feel as comfortable with us as you would Delilah.
And maybe we would join you in your guilty pleasures.
Oh, Delilah. Is that a guilty pleasure? Because everyone hated Delilah, but everyone obviously listened to her.
I hate it.
Because they always knew this. That's because she always talked so soft.
Friends, we're here with you.
That's why you kept listening.
You're not on this journey alone.
It was always late night driving home. Like,
I'm telling you, I only ever heard her snow plowing. That was the only time. It's like 2 in the morning. All right. For Jake Reese and Tyler Heck and Delilah. Is she the one that they wrote that song about?
hey there, Delilah. No, it was about someone else. I think someone actually asked them about that. And it was a different Delilah. I don't know how many
like there's
Delilahs
probably
there
only
are
one.
in the world, but
3.
well, then we're missing one we don't know anything about.
If your name's Delilah, please write into the show. And if it's not,
Maybe Delilah is Timmy's mom's name.
Oh, maybe it is.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
I feel like we shouldn't talk about Timmy because he's probably dead now.
Well, then Delilah
Obviously, he
can
hasn't
call in.
written
Okay,
us.
actually, it's a new year. If anyone has any information about Timmy and or it was you, I gotta know.
Gots to know.
Oh, that just bugs the hell out of me.
I thought if we stopped talking about it, someone would come forward
Be like,
or keep
oh, it
doing
was
stuff,
me.
send us more stuff.
Right,
but it
that's what I
just-
thought. I thought
it
if we
just
choked
stopped.
him out of his attention, I don't know.
It's very disappointing.
I'm gonna hire a private investigator. Someday when we sell enough T-shirts that we have profit,
That's going to be our first purchase is
Yes.
a PI
Yep,
to
we
find Timmy.
we won't need
Well, our
better
first-
equipment or anything.
Our first major purchase.
Right. We thought about getting better gear. Instead, decided to find who wrote a fake letter to us a few times.
Wasted a stamp. I still can't believe.
Freaking Timmy. Well, I hope everyone but Timmy has a great night. Little bastard. I hope his mom calls us.
And her name's Delilah.
Delilah. That would be delightful.
If it is, I'm gonna play Hey There, Delilah.
You have to.
Yeah.
That should. We gotta go. I gotta go learn how to play that on the guitar. For Jake Reese and Tyler Heck, I'm Colin Frederick. Let's get the heck out of here.